They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys, that we won't werewolf and go wild.
My pain is constant and sharp, and I do not hope for a better world for anyone. In fact, I want my pain to be inflicted on others. I want no one to escape.
I'm trademarking this aesthetic as Sigma male depression core. These young men have discovered the bitterness of the world and are trying to relate to it through the lens of certain fictional characters. Characters like Patrick Bateman, Joe from Blade Runner.
You look lonely. I can fix that.
The narrator from Fight Club.
Nobody's
Joker.
civil anymore. Nobody thinks, but it's like the other guys.
And a more recent one would be Homelander from The Boys.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
The romanticization with these psychopathic characters is obviously not going to be good. It reinforces antisocial behavior. It paints the idea that it's okay to be this way, that the world is hostile, that you need to push your will against it. You'll see like edits of these characters and all the comments will be like, literally me, or this is so me, or real. Now, a lot of them are being ironic, but there's always going to be an amount of people who actually resonate with it. And I can show you some examples right here. I relate just a bit to Patrick in a strange way. My pain is constant and sharp. I do not hope for a better world for anyone. In fact, I want my pain to be inflicted on others. I want no one to escape. Same. Women will never understand this. At the moment they are crazy and stupid, but they will pay for it one day. They're not doing their job for us as women. They will be miserable. We will see. Dude, the fake smile he does at the beginning of the edit is the exact reason why I like the character so much. There is one, literally me character missing. That being Ben Affleck's Batman. He's literally me. He's a tortured, broken, and depressed veteran as shown in BVS and ZZZ. He is literally me. Wish he could have been in this video, but either way, love the video. Good job. This is dark, but relatable. I can certainly say that some of the people who call themselves pretty similar or say, lol, that's me to these kind of characters are really annoying persons. I had a friend who identified himself with Patrick Bateman and became a narcissist. Everyone hates him now. It's okay to find yourself on a fictional character because, in part, they're made for that, but don't try to imitate them or you'll end up like my ex-friend, hated by all. These particular pieces of media paint a dark, unforgiving, cruel world, which, as pieces of media, is not a problem. It's important to showcase those aspects of life. The problem is these kids are trying to see the world through the lens of that artificial world. They relate, and on some levels, they integrate these aspects of these characters into their own identity. These people love to feel like the main character. Very egocentric, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We all need a little ego to get somewhere in life, but when you combine egocentric ideas with violent nihilism, you get some bad results. That's how you really get serial killers. Which I'm not saying these edits pose a real threat to society, but it's really interesting to observe these memes as a reflection of the population's temperament. Because the main way the youth expresses itself is through memes and social media. These people, they conglomerate in these social media groups. We can sort of understand these people through studying these memes, studying meme culture. Stuff is no different from art and music. This is something someone creates with a purpose and other people are commenting and expressing themselves about it. There is a really strange connection between this aesthetic and the gym, which you wouldn't really necessarily think they were related.
Men can cry. It's okay to be weak.
Nobody cares about when you do that and there's like muscles there. Nobody cares about that. We don't want to see that. That's not what we want to see. So,
Nope.
For some reason, a lot of these gym goers, they get into it because they're depressed, right? And then they're sitting there, they go, oh, that last breakup, oh my god, and they kind of use that as a fuel source. They use their suffering as fuel to hit the gym. No amount of gym is gonna help your mental health. Now, don't get me wrong, the gym totally helps your mental health. But what I mean is these core underlying psychological issues that you have, the gym is not going to help you. It's going to band-aid them. Let's say you're an insecure person and you hate your life. Well, one step might be for you to go to the gym and sculpt out a body that is more appealing to yourself and others. This is all in an effort to boost your self-esteem. But an insecure person, no matter how well built his body is, he's always going to be insecure. I know plenty of people that go to the gym and they have made progress, but they are still judging their body regardless of the progress they gain, and they continue to judge their body no matter how big they get, because at their core they are an insecure, hurt person. There's this weird element of masochism involved in this whole thing. These people enjoy their pain. They like feeling bad for themselves. They like to wallow. They like to like sad edits. They have romanticized suffering. They have made an aesthetic out of suffering. Now, it's true, suffering is required for growth, but this is unnecessary suffering. This is victim mindset. And thus you put yourself in a spot where you don't even want to change it, because you find yourself in a community where everyone's also suffering. This is sort of like the black pill. You know, everyone's depressed and everyone's like sort of getting in these musky conglomerations talking about how much life sucks, and they sort of feed off each other. It's sort of a circle jerk. They think it's an aesthetic and they think it's quirky. They are no different from the pseudo-spirituality crystal girls. They are both seeking unhealthy forms of self-help. It is essentially just copage. And a lot of these Sigma male depression core gym goers, they like to joke about how the gym cures the depression. The gym stops the voices in their heads. They joke a lot about the voices in my head. There's so many memes about this. The voices in my head. My second personality. Dude, you're just being edgy. 95% of you are not schizophrenic. Another element I've noticed is self-loathing. These people generally hate themselves and they hate the world, and because they hate themselves, they also want to improve themselves on some way, which is why they go to the gym. But they go to the gym out of a form of self-loathing rather than a genuine want to improve themselves because they care about themselves. It's more like it's coming from a place of self-hatred rather than a place of love and a place of trying to be a better person to help the world. I will say, the Blade Runner aesthetic is pretty chill, okay? And it's very melancholic and it's very sad, and I don't think it's that big of a problem. I think it's okay to resonate with that guy because he's genuinely just, he's just sad and he's working through his issues. But Homelander and Patrick Bateman, especially Patrick Bateman, this guy doesn't even have any clear motives for killing people. He just does it. At least Homelander's a little insecure. My biggest problem is Patrick Bateman. Joker makes sense. A lot of people feel outcasted by society. A lot of people feel alienated. A lot of people feel ostracized. And they sort of romanticize the idea of fighting back to the system. That sort of makes sense. But Patrick Bateman, why? He is a serial killer. Tell me why Patrick Bateman is a Sigma male. Explain it to me. The biggest piece of advice I have for you if you're in this community, stop telling yourself you're mentally ill. It does you no good to put that label on yourself. It only reinforces that into your identity. Especially if you're not even schizophrenic and you're saying to yourself you have voices in your head. If anything, you're just going to placebo yourself into hearing voices. Drop being sad from your aesthetic. It feels really good to be sad. I've been there. You sort of sit in this little pity pit and you hope other people notice, and you post on your story and you're like, guys, I'm so sad. And at first people respond with great sympathy. They're like, oh, you'll get through it. But then as the weeks go on and you're still sad, they stop replying. They distance themselves because you're just this pool of negativity. It's okay to share your suffering with someone, but it has to be healthy. So a one-on-one talk with someone you're close to. It shouldn't be a projection of depression to 100 people on your private story who you don't even interact with. You're just dumping this on their plate. They didn't even choose to see it, and you're probably not even close with 90% of them. Even 50 people, even 20 people, I guarantee you're not best friends with all of them. If you're sad, you need to share it with a select group of people who are going to offer you sympathy or advice. Stop romanticizing your suffering and your depression. You need to do something about it. Don't just share it with the world and lie in bed. It's hard. Life is hard. But you have to accept that, and you have to run with it. You have to take the blows, okay? You're born in society. You hate it. I don't like it either. The answer is not to take your anger out on it. Just do your best to make it better. Do your best to make your life better. That's the answer.